Hi guys, my name is Pierce, and this is my Loomigurumi mushroom tutorial. It is my original design. This is something that pretty much anyone of any skill level Loomigurumi wise can do. The band count is about 244 bands, I believe. Alright, so let's get started here. So first we're going to be making a magic ring. And first what you're going to want to do is take one band and wrap it around your hook to make 3 loops. Next, you want to pull a band through all 3 of those loops and then bring it back on your hook and then pull it through itself. And then you want to go back into that cap band and you want to take a band and pull it through just the first 3 loops, not the last 4th one, and bring it back on your hook and then pull it through the 2, and then go back into your cap band again, and we're going to do this 4 more times for a total of 6 in the magic ring. So that's 3, and then 4, 5, and the last one, 6. Now you want to kind of stretch it out a little bit, separate all the loops so it forms the little magic ring, the little circle, like so. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're good. Alright, now I'm going to get a stitch marker or a C-clip and put it on the band that was around my hook. Now it's time for the first round. So it may be a little confusing finding your first stitch at first. So you're going to see a little bump and you're going to see that it looks like 2 stitches, but it's actually 1. So you want to make sure you go into the left of that. The pattern for this first round is single crochet increase for a total of 9 stitches. So a single stitch in the first stitch, and then in the second stitch we're going to do something called an increase, and that is 2 stitches in 1 stitch, like so. And you're going to continue this till the end of the round, till the C-clip. Now we're going to take the stitch marker or C-clip off the last stitch and do the last increase. We should be ending on an increase. Now you're going to want to put your C-clip back on the loop around your hook. So it should look something like this right now. Alright, and for our second round, we're going to be doing single crochet, increase for a total of 12 stitches around. So we're going to find the first stitch again, shouldn't be as hard this time. And we're going to do a single crochet, and then a single crochet, and then an increase. And continue that all the way around till you get to the C-clip. So now you're going to get your C-clip again to finish up that last increase. Put it back on the band around your hook. And it should now look something like this. And now it's going to be time for round 3. So this round is pretty easy. You are just going to single crochet or do a single stitch in each stitch all the way around for, again, a total of 12 stitches. We remove the C-clip to do the last stitch and place it back on. So now it should look something like this. For this 4th round, we are going to do single crochet, increase once again. So single crochet, and then increase. And do this all the way around till you get to the C-clip for a total of 21 stitches. Put your C-clip back on, and now you should have something that looks like this. Now this is another easy round. It is, again, just single crochet around, 1 stitch in each stitch. Take your C-clip off and then put it on the band on your hook. And you should now have something that looks like this. There should be a total of 16 stitches. We are now going to do stitch, 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 increase for a total of 21 stitches all around. So single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and an increase. take the C-clip off the stitch and finish up the last stitch, which is an increase, and then put the C-clip back on. It should look something like this now. Now this is going to be our last row before switching colors to the base of the mushroom color. I will also show you how to change colors cleanly with a slip stitch. The pattern for this round is stitch, stitch, increase for a total of 28 stitches. So we're going to do stitch, stitch, and an increase, and so on. Okay, so I went back and counted, and I realized I messed up back somewhere, and I'm one stitch off, but it's okay if you're one stitch off. It's not going to completely mess up your design at all, so I'm just going to continue. So I believe I most likely messed up in the round before, but you know, it's okay. So we are changing colors now for the base of the mushroom, and I'm going to show you how to do a slip stitch to do a clean color change. Go into that first stitch, and instead of pulling the band through just the first two loops, you are actually going to pull it through everything, so that third loop as well. And put that back on your hook, and then pull it through itself, and then there's your slip stitch. I'm sorry, please undo that. We're supposed to do that in the back loop because we're doing our stitches in the back loop only of everything for this entire round. You can see the stitch looks like a little V, right? Right here, that's the front loop. Right here, that's the back loop, the inner loop. We're going to be stitching in that all the way around for this round. So instead of doing that, instead of going in normally, we're going to go in like that in the back loop. Now we're going to redo the slip stitch in the back loop. Pull it through everything, put it back on your hook, pull it through itself, and there's your slip stitch on the back loop only. Go into the next back loop and continue. We are just doing single crochets in each of the back loops for this whole round. And our last stitch, remove the C-clip and then put it back on the band around our hook, and it should look something like this now. As you can see, it's starting to form the mushroom shape. Just like in the beginning, we're going to have a slip stitch for our first stitch. So again, you're going to have that weird little double looking stitch thing, but it's just one. You can see if you pull it apart, it's one. So you want to go in there, make sure you get into the correct first stitch. And for this round, it's going to be stitch, stitch, decrease, and I'll show you how to decrease. And it's going to be for a total of 21 stitches around. So we're starting with our first single crochet, another single crochet, and now I'm going to show you how to decrease. So remember how we talked about front and back loops? To decrease, you go into the back loop of the first stitch and then the front loop of the second stitch, and then you pull the band through just like a normal stitch, and that's your decrease. Also, make sure to be careful to go into the actual next stitch after you decrease instead of going into the stitch you just decreased, because it's easy to make that mistake. Now, your mushroom should look something like this, and you can see the inside is forming even more. For this next round, it's going to be single crochet, decrease for a total of 14 stitches. Go into that first stitch, single crochet, then you want to go through the back loop and then the front loop, and then that's your decrease, and so on. So now it should look like this, and we're going to do the last step, the same thing, one more time. It's going to be single crochet and then decrease. Except for the very last two stitches, those will be normal crochets, one stitch in each stitch for the last two stitches in this round. So go into that first stitch, single crochet, and then a decrease, and continue that all the way around. Alright, your mushroom should look like this now, and it's going to be time to start making the stem, but before that we are going to stuff. And when stuffing this mushroom, we want to stuff pretty lightly so that the bottom stays as flat as possible. So you want to get your stuffing or polyfill or cotton balls or even crumpled up paper, whatever you have. You can use pretty much anything to stuff something. So be careful that your stitch marker doesn't get lost in the stuffing, so put that to the side. And slowly and carefully push the stuffing to the top of the mushroom. And then spread it throughout the base once you get it in there. And there you go. It's stuffed now. Make sure you get your stitch marker out of there. You can shape it a little bit if you want. I just like to squish the inside down so it's flat. Now this next step is pretty repetitive. We're going to do 3 rounds of single crochet, so 10 stitches in each round 3 times. So this is what it should look like now. You should see the little stem is growing, and we are so close to being finished. Just shaping it a little bit more. Now for this round, we're going to do single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, increase. So single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, one more single crochet, and an increase. Sorry, I went into the wrong stitch there for a second. And you're only doing that a total of 2 times for the round. You should have a total of 12 stitches in the end. So basically the point of these 2 increases is just to make the bottom not cave in when we close it up. Now we're just going to take a tiny bit of stuffing and kind of roll it into a stem-like shape. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's fine. And we're just going to put it in the stem, again, stuffing very lightly. I'm actually going to tear this in half. This is way too much. Yeah, I only need a tiny bit. So this is going to be the second to last round, and it's going to be single crochet, decrease, for a total of 8 stitches. So there's our first single crochet. The bands got mixed up a little, sorry about that. And our decrease, and just do that all the way around. Now it is finally time for our last row. So, and then we're done. So what we do for our last row is we basically just decrease everything and close it off. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The very last stitch, you're going to do a slip stitch and pull it tight into a slip knot. Oops, that broke. You know what? I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna replace that band. I'm gonna pull it out. Alright, so just redoing that last stitch. So pull that nice and tight, and don't break it. It's okay if you do, you can replace it. But now I'm going to show you how to hide the band. So you just want to go in there, try not to grab any stuffing with your hook. Wrap the band on your hook, get a grip on it, and just carefully, so you don't get it on any other bands inside, pull it through, and then you're just gonna kind of want to stretch the mushroom a little bit, and it should pop right in. And there you go. There is your mushroom tutorial, guys. I really hope you like this design. I've made a few different original Loomigurumi designs, but I would be open to ideas in the comments if anybody had any. Yeah. Thank you for watching my tutorial, and have a nice day.